Good morning, ninjas. Throw your Shuriken and put your katana up. We are going to slice through the news. Welcome to our latest Densetsu progress update. Today we are going to talk you through something important. Not just what we built, but why we built it. What changed, what it cost us, what we learned, and what comes next. This update is for new explorers discovering us through aesthetics, indie circles, manga, anime culture. People who have been watching quietly waiting for that moment. Technical minds who want to see how the engine actually works, and those asking, is this real progress? Spoiler alert, it is. Before the end of January, most of our work was focused on engine architecture, tooling, and modular systems. Still very rooted in our Construct 2 phase. We expanded data registries, modular movement updates, inspector hot swapping, teleporters and water volumes, polygon terrain workflows, and menu baselines. What that jargon all means, I don't know. Maybe you don't know as well. This phase wasn't flashy, but it taught us something crucial. If your foundation is weak, scale becomes illusion. That realization directly led to the next milestone. We then moved into full 3D production. Why? Because 3D just didn't add a dimension. It expanded decision making. Elevation, distance, line of sight, spatial positioning. 3D changes how players think and just not how they look. And if our core theme is agency under constraint, then 3D was not cosmetic. It was structural. Switching engines comes at a cost. We had to rebuild actors, rewire movements, reconstruct the UI, redesign the combat. So the question becomes, was all the 2D work wasted? Actually, no. It was very much preparation for what was coming. We just didn't know yet. To the question of why we are rebuilding everything, this is just a part of the answer. Densetsu is not meant to be a short-lived project. It's an IP, it's a universe from which many other projects will stem, including comics, and the video game is just the biggest expression of it. It's what will ground you in the universe in the first place. We will, of course, give the same careful treatment to other branches of this IP, where you will get to experience the full universe at your own pace. But we are here to talk about the game, not about the rest that is going to come slowly but surely. We are going to build a lot of things from scratch in Godot, so there is a high chance that things are not yet up to speed and not ready for consumption, so this is why there is no playable demo or anything of that sort. We ask ourselves, just like you would ask us, why build everything from scratch? Because control over behavior matters. Or control matters over behavior sometimes. In the sense of development, and yes, you want to retain control and you want to be able to pinpoint exactly what is breaking and what is working, so that you can build around or upon it, or just make sure that it doesn't break under stress. It's like if a weapon behaves unpredictably, then the illusion breaks, and immersion is fragile. It just works. Okay. In our case, it just works, as you can see from the images in the background. It just doesn't work up to specs. And before we move forward and leave some architecture that we will not be able then to solve in a timely manner, or to solve at all without breaking the foundation, then we just don't want that fast progress for show. Maybe you have noticed not everything works properly, even if it looks like it kind of does. That's not the kind of illusion we are trying to sell you. We want you to be sure that the game works, and it's not just the illusion of working. And then, of course, there are a lot of questions about identity in the game and in the story that we are trying to tell. And it's very important that identity can be expressed through movement and through interaction with the world. On one side, you are taking on the identity of someone else. You are Michio as a young ninja. Ninjas, they are agile and they are nimble. They can very quickly move from A to B, and the question becomes, do you feel capable when you move? Do you feel like the ninja that you are told that you are? And if not, then we are not done with that process of fine-tuning and adding movement options. Of course, not everything is mechanics. As you can see, there's the whole sky and weather system going on. See that the sun and the moon do their thing, and that there is a little bit of rain, a little bit of fog, and there are going to be many, many more other weather conditions that we didn't just add yet. And there's the flowing water simulation, which is basically just a flow map shader grid that tells for which square in which direction water is flowing and then simulates. And there's a lot of invisible progress behind the scenes, making our own tools inside Godot and making work alongside Godot so that the workflow would not be broken. As game developers, we are constantly jumping between applications, and the more branches you are involved in, the messier it gets. That was a good step. We have some forms of texture and object manipulation. We have cleanup and commit to Git scripts, and there's also ongoing, there's the reconversion of the old menu and UI systems we had. We could translate almost everything one-to-one into Godot, which is very good. And another sign that we didn't lose time working on different iterations of this project in the past, because everything we did is getting reworked, revamped, redone, recycled. You never really lose time when you move with purpose, even if you don't know exactly where you are going. If you know that just you are going in one direction and that's all that matters, sometime later you will find that all those notes, all those little scribbles will come into use.